Hello. What is up to all our educator friends out there? It's your friends Kyle Howard and Corey Camp.
Hello.
Joining you on our What's Up Wednesday shows. How are you doing today, Corey?
I'm good. My allergies are killing me. So if you see mascara just running down my face, it's not my costume for Halloween. And I'm not sad. I'm just battling allergies right now. I've been listening all morning. This is the second or third meeting I've had this morning. My online kindergartner does her online schooling right over here on the other side of the sliding glass door. And sounds like today is all about relationship building and just connecting with their peers in their class. So the teacher's been putting them in breakout rooms and telling them, talk about whatever you want. And Grace has apparently identified herself as a strong mathematician. So she's been teaching all her peers math, asking first, do you know what 5 plus 5 is? It's 10. She's also now just recently moved to last night. So we're working on phonemic awareness and grapheme awareness and, sounds and letters and building words. And she discovered last night that she knows how to spell math. So she's been teaching all her peers that. And she says it's M-A-F, math. My favorite. It's my favorite age as there's this learning and you're like, totally makes sense. And I've been teaching her, I used to teach my students the H brothers, the SH brother, the TH brother, the CH brother, the WH brother. And so she keeps going, which brother is that? But we'll talk about which brother that is for math later. But yeah, it's been fun.
Corey, it sounds like someone may have taught the early worm of it from the teacher education. I don't know.
That's right. Like. Yeah, she might. Like. She might. I was the first in my family. I have a sister-in-law who is a teacher, but everyone else in my family, they're entrepreneurs or they're in banking or something. And I'm not great at numbers, and I'm too tired to be an entrepreneur. But I have enough energy to teach. So, it's just, that's one of the biggest blessings for me doing online schooling is I get to hear the learning process. And I think that's just so fun. So having been removed from the classroom for a few years now, this is awesome for me. But anyway, other than that, Kyle, we had a webinar yesterday. Did you get a chance to attend this? I was in some meetings.
I was in meetings too as well all day, but we have our friend Justin Bader, TJ Hopton, feedback from afar, coaching and our virtual reality. We do have this now on demand for folks who are not able to attend.
Yep. Check out in the comments. We'll put in the comments below how to access that, but it's in our learning center. So just head on over to learn.sibme.com. You can click on demand webinars, and I believe it's one of the first ones there, but we'll add the comments in that. It was an amazing webinar. I got to talk with TJ and Justin a little bit around their planning of that. It's pretty conversational, very podcast style. But when TJ shared a little bit this morning, just the conversation that they had and how they talked about how are we seeing instruction and learning when we are not able to physically be in the same space where that's happening. So great webinar that you can check out on demand. And there's that link there in the comments. Let's see. We also have a fancy enhancement to our already fancy screen recording feature. Did you hear about this? Did you see this yet, Kyle?
Oh, yes. This is a game changer. This is the game changer right here.
It really is. So for about a month or so now, you've been able to, from your workspace and now in huddles, you can record your screen. So if you aren't already using a screen recording tool like Loom, Screencastify, There's some other ones out there that I've used in the past. If you're a teacher using Sibme, or you're creating maybe some tutorial videos or wanting to show folks around how to access things online, you need to be able to record your screen. And so you can do that now inside Sibme. And the great thing is, and Jeff talked a little bit about this, we compress those files. If you use Sibme as a recording tool, which we definitely have the capability to do on our mobile and on the web app, you use this as a recording tool, those videos are compressed. So then you can download that video and upload it into your Google Classroom or onto YouTube, and it's much faster, but it's also right there in the platform for you to share with your friends and colleagues for either feedback or to give them additional ideas, or to show them how you're creating things and organizing things and walking through that lesson plan. So, but now you have the ability to choose the location you want to record, your whole screen, a specific window, which is what I'm doing right now here in the application we use to go live. I'm sharing from a Chrome window, so I can toggle between two tabs or a specific tab. You have the option to share the audio from that. So if you're going to play a video in your screen recording, or you're doing a Zoom through as an instructional leader and you don't want to interrupt that teacher and say, hey, can you record this moment? You can just record in there and upload it for the teacher to then be able to look at later on, capturing their audio. So look for that little share audio on the bottom left in the record screen feature. Pretty exciting.
Awesome. And I love how you said the little Zoom through when we have our principals, a Zoom through. So this is when I'm having those conversations with these, principals, and also with some of the coaches as well. They love this feature here to support them, as well as the virtual, but then also, allowing them to really do everything in Sibme, which that's what we're preaching. Do it all in Sibme. So we love this new feature here.
Yeah, work smarter, not harder, definitely. Sibme's not here to duplicate your work or be one more thing. We really try to help make everything you do, whether it's teacher-facing, student-facing, whatever you're facing, a little bit easier. So, all right. Well, speaking of making workflows and engagement a little bit easier and seamless, that is what our featured guest for today is going to be sharing a little bit of how they utilize Sibme for that. So today we have on ESC, Education Service Center, Region 9, down in Texas, Carol Gibbs. She's the Educational Support Specialist for what's called the Recess Grant. She's going to tell us all about that, but she is joining us today. I'm so excited because I love any opportunity I get a chance to talk to Carol and collaborate with her. So welcome to the show, Carol.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. So excited and honored that you guys even asked me. So glad to be here.
Yeah,
Sibme
y'all have been working
something new and exciting.
We do. And y'all have been working really hard this year. I know you got up and started with Sibme a little bit last year at your regional service center. And we began talking about specifically how it could support the work you are doing under this grant that you have. And it's a couple of years, this grant that you'll have. And so you've really been playing a little bit with thinking about different ways to do what you already have to do inside Sibme and the different spaces with the different features. But let's start with letting everyone know just a little bit more about the work that you do under the Recess Grant. Tell us about the Recess Grant and how you and your team function to support teachers through this grant.
Okay, that's easy for me to talk about. The Recess Grant is a statewide grant through Texas Education Agency, and Texas Workforce Commission provides the funding. So that came out about a year and a half ago, and there are 4 service centers or 4 areas, not even necessarily service centers, in Texas that have our initiative, which is Initiative 2. And our focus is improving teacher-student interactions. So we use the research-based tool of class at the pre-K level, and we do baseline observations and end-of-year observations to measure our progress, but our main focus is coaching the teachers on teacher-student interactions based on that class framework. And Sibme has really changed it and helped us.
Yeah, and under this work, so initiative 2 is, like as you mentioned, all about providing direct support to those early childhood teachers or providers. It's not just in schools.
Right.
But through coaching. And so I know there's some specifications under your grant as far as how frequent those coaching cycles, or how many of those. Can you share a little bit of some of those parameters?
Right. With all grants, of course, there are requirements, because that's people who provide you funding want to see that you're doing your work. So we have to do beginning of the year, end of the year observations. But like I said, the focus piece, we basically have to do about 8 coaching sessions per school year. And we currently have 52 teachers in the grant. Last year we had 32. We expanded to 52 this year. So we've taken on a little bit more, and we have to reach all those teachers at least 8 times, not including those observation pieces. So it's a lot of work and a lot of time put into those teachers, and we feel like they need it. A lot of our pre-K teachers just don't get the support that they need, and it's foundational to learning. We strongly believe that pre-K is where it's at. That's where it all starts. And early learning, like you said.
Yeah.
We have early learning centers that we work with as well. So
absolutely, yeah. Having a kindergartner who just came out of pre-K, I know how important that work is, and supporting their learning. Now you're a small team, so you just have a few coaches spread out across those 50-some teachers. So everybody's supporting about how many on their coaching caseload there?
Well, it's kind of a mixed load, because we have one part-time coach who is worth $1 million, and then we have 2 full-time-ish. One is less than the other because she splits her funding a little bit, and then myself, and I coach just a little bit because I'm overseeing the grant as well, but I want to keep my feet in the coaching because that's how I learn as well. So our biggest loads are about 20 to 23 that they coach, those big ones, and then I coach just a few, and then we have another one that coaches 18 and one that coaches 11. So I don't know if mathematically that even works out right, but that's what they have.
Yeah. I wanted you to share a little bit about those caseloads and that team size, as others are kind of relating to this work who may not be on a specific site directly working with teachers on that site, but like you, who are spread across a region, many teachers with many of those requirements of how many of those cycles and touch points you have to have. So that's great. Thank you.
I think an important factor this year is that last year we had 4 sites to work with. This year we have 13. So that's a lot of travel. One of our sites is an hour's drive away. Where we're located is land large and people small. So we kind of do spread out quite a bit. So Sibme, I've told people, if we didn't have Sibme, there's no way time-wise we could manage the caseload that we're carrying right now. So this has been a blessing, and not only just through the COVID piece, but just because of our rural location. We have 37 school districts that we cover, not including our early learning centers. So just to get distance-wise to those places is very time-consuming and expensive. But with Sibme, we can reach out to those teachers and be just like face-to-face with them. So we're loving
Carol, and that's almost a great segue into this next question here. And it's funny that especially backstage, you and Corey were just even shooting some other ideas to how we can support teachers. But how do you use Sibme to carry out your grant work and support teachers regardless of the setting?
Well, I can compare it to what we did last year, and we did have Sibme last year, but we were, I would say, dabbling, kind of sticking our toes in the water. So a lot of times last year I would just take in a video and I would record the teacher, and then we would reflect using their video. And I really liked that, and I kept thinking, for our rural districts, this is the way to go. So we have data tracking that we have to do with the grant, and for progress of teachers, we need to track their progress. And we've learned through Sibme that we can set up goals. The goals feature has been eye-opening and time-saving, because last year we were tracking in a Google Sheet, and we had a spreadsheet, and we had a form, and the coaches were just all over the place trying to track data. Well, now we have it all put in Sibme, and everything is tracked through Sibme. Our goal progress, our session tracking, all of that is right there. And so it's simplified and streamlined. Things I heard you say earlier, work smarter, not harder. And I think we're really doing that this year. Super excited about it. I'm setting up template goals for our coaches, and so that we can share those, but we can also tweak them as the teachers individually need them. So I think we're going to talk a little bit about that in a minute, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, definitely. We can actually, Carol actually has an example to show. And with that, I want to ask, how has the new goals module enhanced your work so far?
So far, it's a game changer. Like I said, we have to track so much data for our grant and for progress monitoring that now it's just right there. We can set it up the way we need it to. We can adjust it for what the teachers need and where our coaching needs are. And we can also track ourselves. We have goals for coaches that show, are we meeting the sessions that we need to meet? Are we getting where we need to be when we need to be there? So that's a game changer for us.
Yeah,
So
I know when we were first looking at all of the requirements for what you have to report for your grant to the state, we were talking about, there are these required number of sessions that need to happen with each of those teachers. And sometimes we have, one on the calendar and then something happens and we've got to reschedule it. And sometimes rescheduling it falls through the cracks. And so we wanted to make sure that we were staying on top of, are we making progress in the coaching work for the coaches that they're supposed to be doing? And then at the professional level, are those teachers creating goals and crushing those goals? Because you have to report on how many of your teachers are making progress towards a goal. And that's one of the things that the goals module, you as the support specialist are able to view everybody's goals. So you can take a look at all of the coaches' goals and see how far is my one coach with 20 some teachers that they're coaching. Have they at least met with everybody once or twice so far this semester? You're going to be able to see, you are able to see all of those things. You're also able to pull a quick report. Y'all are the reason we have the ability to export now as an Excel or a PDF, the goals dashboard, the information you see in the goals dashboard. And right now we're just looking at your template goals in your account, which is something that you were talking about a moment ago in how you're using these. And this is one of my favorite use cases for templates. So let's talk a little bit about how you're using the template goal for supporting your coaches and the work they're doing with teachers.
We're all over the template goals. I just kind of, coming from a special ed world, I just kind of like to see a framework that's measurable. Mm-hmm. So backing up, we started out our year, you can see at the bottom, there's that introduction to Year 2 initiative grant activities. We did all of our beginning of the year training for our teachers through Sibme, and this just kind of walked them through. We were not only setting goals for what we wanted them to learn, but also kind of moving them through the Sibme process because they were new to it. And this was an easy way to say, just go here to Sibme, follow these steps, and you're in the system and you're learning it. So that was a good way to line that out. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, I just want to, this is one of my favorite ways to get started is, you sent an email out, said you should be able to log in. Here's how you log in, or you'll receive the email invitation. And then you told them go straight to goals and follow the directions, open their goal. And so this very first one is congratulations. If you're seeing this, you finished number 1, mark it off as done. And so we all love, that's one of my favorite things about the goals feature is as you mark items as done, your progress bar moves towards complete. And so you were able to, this is a great example, this particular way that you used it here, as you got everybody up and set up for your first meeting together. You needed them to do several specific things so that everybody could come on the same page on that day. And so this was your way of outlining the order and the sequence and seeing who is ready for our meeting in August and who do I need to check in with. So I love that you use this that way.
And part of this was we kind of pushed them through using the goals, because we want our teachers will be focused on the goals, the huddles, and their workspace. And this kind of walked them through all of that. So the template also, for example, we had a teacher that just joined our grant. We had a slot open and somebody said, hey, would you take her? So we did just the other day. So I can still pull this template goal and add her to that, and she can use that goal just like all the other teachers. She'll have the same information they had, just different timing. So I really like that about the ability to build a template that can be shared when you need it.
Yeah. And you'll be able to take this framework next year for year 3, initiative 2. You'll be able to take it and either recycle it as it is or change it up a little bit and keep it consistent. So that, yeah, I love that. That's what I always tell people when they're creating a goal. I always say, do you think you might use this goal or the way you're structuring this again? If so, let's create it as a template goal and then use it by assigning it to the individuals or assigning it to yourself as a working goal. So yeah.
We took you to heart when you said that, because you can see the templates that we've built.
Yes.
We each did an introductory session with our teachers where we just, again, wanted them to get used to uploading a video and commenting on the video. So that's how we did that for our first coaching face-to-face with our teachers. We sent them a video and said, hey, and we gave them some information to learn about us. And then we did the 2 truths and a lie. So their comment was something a little bit fun where they could just say, I think that one's a lie. And then they'd upload a video for us and we had to pick their lie. So it just made it a little fun way to get in there and start uploading from your workspace, commenting on videos, and getting feedback from the coach. So that was our next template. That was fun, and teachers liked it. They responded to that one. Then the session tracking, I'm not sure which one there it is. Session tracking is a great tool for us because, like I said, we have to track how many sessions we do. So what we've done with this, each coach takes that and adds the teacher name here on the right side. And then every time they see the teacher, they can make a comment, but they can also at the bottom increase the measurement and see how close are we to that 5 we have to get to by February. And then, of course, in February, we'll just adjust the goal to February through May. And that just has to do with grant cycle. But that's a great way to track our sessions, which, again, we were doing all over the place last year. We were coaching on paper and tracking on all these other forms. And now it's all in one place. We can coach here. The teachers can track their own progress. And I, as an administrator, like you said, can pull that up and look at it. And I love it.
Yeah. Well, and I want to share just why we chose to put the session tracking in goals, because we do have a huddle tracker for our coaching huddles where you can see in that tracker how many videos have been shared between you and the individual you're coaching. Have you given feedback to all of those videos? What's that feedback on time within the window of time that you as an account have identified being best practice? But that's just the video. Sometimes and the coaching cycle itself involves much more than just the video artifact being shared and the conversation happening there. There's what research says should be there a follow-up meeting where you have a live conversation or an asynchronous conversation to be able to make meaning of the feedback given on the video example or share additional artifacts. So just because a video is shared doesn't mean that coaching session is complete. Sometimes I'll have a teacher share 2 or 3 videos with me in a specific coaching session or cycle. So this helps them. This is a place for them to say, okay, I have completed the second session now. There may be 5 videos in the tracker, but I've completed it now 2. So that's, I think, really helpful.
Yeah, and we have kind of at your suggestion, Corey, we've uploaded to all our coaching huddles kind of that cycle, that coaching cycle that we're going to go through. So teachers know what to expect going in. They know what we expect of them and what we're going to give to them. So it's a nice way to keep everything clear for everybody involved.
Yeah.
So those are in our huddles. But the goal tracking, you can see there we put instructional support, classroom organization, emotional support. That comes from the class framework. And so we're very targeted in our coaching. So since we're doing that, it's kind of nice to lay out a template that everybody can pull that and use it as they needed, but it can be adjusted to be individualized. It's not out of the box kind of stuff. It's just canned. I mean, it's not canned. It's definitely customized to the
and
teacher.
personalized. Yeah. And here's where I love this use of this is again, because you're working from common framework, the class framework, and you are able to kind of break that into these three main areas where a teacher might need support. I, as a coach, can say, okay, I'm working on instructional support with my teacher. That's where we're focusing right now. So I can pull this template goal up, and I can then, you as the support member, or maybe y'all as a team, have already gone in through and looked at the critical components of instructional support, and you've outlined all of them. So maybe it's concept development, not quality of feedback or language modeling yet, but I need to focus on this analysis and reasoning. So you've already done as a team the legwork of thinking through, if this was the focus of a goal for a teacher, what would that goal possibly look like? And of course, it can be personalized and modified. And the coach wouldn't use all of these action items. They can come in and they can remove the action items that aren't relevant to them and the teacher they're working on this with. But you're offering some key activities they can do. Excuse me, I'm trying to highlight that they can do in order to make progress and begin working through this goal. And I love that use of this template to really build this out. It's a great way to support your coaching team who are working with many teachers at many stages in many places this year. So,
right. And this all still needs a little bit of refinement, but I really like that. For example, what you saw there under instructional support, you saw concept development, quality feedback, language modeling. Those are 3 dimensions under that. So let's say teacher first really wants to work on the concept development. She doesn't want all those other things. But then we come, and so the coach deletes all those other things, all those other action items. And let's say later in the year, she says, I really want to work on language modeling. Using that template goal, she can just pull up the template goal, delete everything except language modeling, and focus on those behaviors. So it's kind of pulling everything that we need. I love it.
Yeah. And again, I love that you're already building in the measurement aspect of it, thinking about how could they reflect, what things would they do if they were focusing on this. It's almost like you have a plan for that particular focus already pre-drafted for them to then come in and personalize or customize. Right. So I love that. That's awesome.
I love it too. And it's thanks to Sibme and you, Corey, for helping me. Kyle, you've helped me with our accounts and everything. So we've had lots of support in getting here. But actually, yesterday I shared some of this with another grantee, and their whole team was just, they kept watching and asking questions. Like this girl kept saying, "I'm sorry, I'm asking another question." I'm like, "No, it's fine. We love it. We want to talk about it." So
yeah. Well, you've all put a lot of work and thought into it. So definitely want to talk about that for sure.
Yeah, and really, Carol, sitting down with us, and we're able to get better and reflect on how we develop Sibme as well. So we definitely want to thank you, and we almost kind of think of you an unofficial member of the Sibme team for as many times you sat down and walk through us and really put that idea out there. So we're really excited about it. But and especially now, like the ability to maximize your travel within your region as well and offer support to those teachers. So we're definitely excited about the next coming years that we can continue to do some work together.
Yeah.
Well, me too. We're building in, we have to build sustainability into our plan, and Sibme is definitely a part of that now. We're taking Sibme with us on our sustainability because this work can continue.
Yeah.
With Sibme.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It definitely can. And, you've got another year within your grant, and you jumped from 30 some to 50 some teachers. And so I'm hoping you'll have even more as you go into next year. And it's still going to be something that you can do with your team. Your team can still support that you can scale up. And again, that's what I discovered Sibme when I was at a Texas Regional Center like you. And that was the the potential that I saw within it is that it met me right where I was and then could help me begin to refine and grow everything that we were doing to support our teachers. So we love having you on.
Come back and show you our end result of this year, because it's going to be great.
Yes, yes,
it's going to be fabulous.
Definitely. I love that idea. And I was just going to just throw this in there, since Kyle announced you as an official member of the Sibme family. Members of the Sibme family get cookies from Kyle. We had our cookies last weekend, and they were amazing. And you hate to eat them; they're so gorgeous, but they're so delicious. You hate not to eat them. So, yeah, they're gone. There's none left.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm in my kitchen, so maybe I'll have to take care of that myself.
That's right. That's right. Well, Carol, thank you so much for joining us today. I want to invite our viewers, if you have a question for Carol and her team, because you're doing similar work, you're interested in the work, feel free to put in the comments below. We'll share that with Carol as we continue to work with her and her amazing team, who are doing so much, regardless of what the 2020 year throws at them. They're still able to be out there supporting your teachers, which is what matters to us here at Sibme. So, all right. Thanks, Carol.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol.
Bye-bye.
And may I add, Corey, and if you like what you see today, please like us, subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook. If you want to go back and watch more of our previous What's Up Wednesday shows, we have some great content available on demand. We're always wanting to get better. So if you want to get better and reflect, please go back and watch and share and like us.
Yeah, definitely. And shout out to our creatives team for, Kyle and Brian and I are always bad about telling folks to, hey, make sure you'll get automatic notifications. So they made this beautiful visual for us so we won't forget it. And it's definitely something to do if you haven't already. We are in multiple streams now and feeds. And so wherever you go, you can check out Sibme and the Coach Replay Show, which, by the way, our focus this week is with Kathy Renfrew and science. So I'm super excited about our conversation for Friday. I also don't want to forget about our shout out for this week. And we're just going to give a shout out to a repeat shout out offender, Liberty Point Elementary out in Fulton County. Always doing amazing things. I believe Brian said that they're going to be presenting at a pretty great conference coming up. So just shout out to them for all of the amazing work that they've been doing at their elementary. So
awesome. Shout out to them. Are they going to be a guest coming up in
I think they should be. I think Brian's been talking with them about coming on and sharing a little bit with everyone. So we'll definitely have them on.
I hope they join us. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, me too. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. If you have questions for us, if you're wanting to take a peek at that goals module, you can put a comment in the comment feed, reach out to us. You know how to get a hold of us. We are here for you if you feel like Sibme supports your work, or if you're a Sibme subscriber and you're wanting to jump in on some of that action that Carol was sharing and start doing some of those things in your organization, let us know. We are happy to help you. All right, everyone. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.